Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'll start, ma'am.
Yeah, Farid, you can.
Okay, ma'am. A pleasant evening to everyone present here. On this occasion, I would like to quote Albert Einstein, who said, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." My name is Farheen, and on behalf of the IIC Internship Vertical, I would like to give a warm welcome to everyone who is present at this juncture of knowledge. Today, we have gathered here to attend a webinar on the topic How to Build a Startup Legal and Ethical Steps by Mr. Kamakshi Nathan Sir, Digital Transformation Leader, and also an external member of IIC SKPC. Every occasion is incomplete without the blessings of the Almighty. So let us start the session on a good note by invoking the blessings of the presiding deity, Goddess Vasavamba.
The prayer is not audible.
Just 1 minute.
Parameshwar Shri Maheshwari Maheshwari Parameshwari Kamitantamulichi Brahmamu Kanyaka Parameshwari Shri Maheshwari Vasavi Nagareshwari Parameshwari Kamitantamulichi Brahmamu Kanyaka Parameshwari Devadevi Maheshwari Jagadheshwari Bhuvaneshwari Kavave Mamuyalla Kanyaka Parameshwari Balachandra Kiritadharini Bhavya Sundara Rupini Vaishyavamshaya Shobhivardini Kanyaka Parameshwari Shri Maheshwari Vasavi Nagareshwari Parameshwari Kamitantamulichi Brahmamu Kanyaka Parameshwari Kanyaka Parameshwari Kanyaka Parameshwari Shri
Now I would like to invite Ms. Sonali to deliver the welcome address.
Be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. Good afternoon to one and all gathered here. I take pride and privilege in welcome you all for this informative section on how to build a startup legal and ethical step. And on behalf of our Innovation Institution Council of SKPC, I take immense pleasure in welcoming our resource person of the day, Ms. Kamakshi Nathan, who here with us to share his entrepreneurship experience, a successfully startup. Welcome, sir. I also welcome our Principal Dr. P. Mohanasri ma'am, Vice Principal Dr. P.B. Vanita ma'am, our correspondent Sir Gugilam Ramit sir, who have always been a pillar to support in every beat too. I extend my warm welcome to all the IIC internship ready staff and students, coordinators who have planned this informative section for us and play a major role in the smooth running of today's workshop. And next, I also welcome our fellow students who are waiting eagerly to listen to this section. Welcome everyone. Once again, I welcome everyone to this juncture to welcome of knowledge. Thank you. Welcome you all.
Thank you, Ms. Sonali. Next, to give us a sense of familiarity, I would like to avail Dr. Monisha ma'am to introduce our wonderful chief guest for the day.
Thank you, Fari. I take an immense pleasure to introduce the guest speaker of the day, Mr. Kamachinathan sir, digital transformation leader. He has started 18 years of experience in CIO advising, digital transformation and strategy, concerned in a field of such as BFSI, retailing and distribution technology and healthcare industry. He has led digital transformation roadmap at the CK Birla Groups from 2019. He has spread the adoption of digital solution and transformation from 2006. He has done a future technology for enterprises from the year of 2015. He was a delivered a excellent business ideas for TCS on 2013. The culture and innovation at the TCS from 2017. He has coordinated and collaborated with the global teams, clients, and the top management of CTS till 2006. He was the people engagement specialized at TSS during 2011 and a member of a project management institute since 2011. I am also gladly present our IIC extend member, Mr. Kamachinathan sir, welcoming you sir, and thank you to accept our invitation and your day. And I request you to take over the section. Thank you sir.
Thank you, Monisha. Thanks for your introduction. Yeah.
Thank you sir.
Yeah. So I think I can go to the topic. So just to introduce myself, this is Kamachinathan, and nearly I have 17 years of industry experience. So I am suitable to to go through this seminar. So that I can give you some of the views out of my experience. Okay, so that as I understand, this is an IIC IIC session, so mainly for the startup for women, right? So I think this session will be definitely be helpful for you, for the beginners to know how to design a product, okay, and how to see as a business, okay, basically how to run a business. And then we will look into the ethical aspects, like how we should follow while starting a business. What are the ethical concerns, okay, with awareness or without awareness, what are the problems? Okay, we will go through it. So welcome you all. I'm just sharing my screen. Let me know once you could able to see my screen. So I'm going in the PowerPoint mode. Just a minute. Yeah, can you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how to start up a business and what are all the ethics while conducting a business? That is what we are going to see. So I'm open, like, you can stop me at any point of time. So I understand there are 63 participants. Okay, if you want to chat in between, you can chat and you can, provide me a few questions. I can able to stop and I can answer your questions. So let us start. So how successful, how realistic are the women, whether they can start a business? Okay, that is a very important question as of now. Okay, the problem is, okay, many women think that, it is difficult to start a business on their own. Okay, and if you see, just a mindset, to start while coming out of the college and whether we can start the business, okay, how difficult it is. If you see, uh, people should have the mindset to come and start the business. And I am showing you the top 10 women entrepreneurs in India. Okay, these are not just the 10 women. Okay, there are many women entrepreneurs who came up here. Okay, but when you see, these are the top 10 women entrepreneurs who succeeded in their life, immediately when they came out of the college. Okay, one is on the Biocon Limited. Okay, she was on the healthcare industry, Kiran Shah. Okay, and you might be aware about this MobiKwik, right? So MobiKwik, you can recharge it through the app. Okay, Upansa Taku, and she's a fintech, right? So how these people started their business? How difficult it is? See, starting a business is not a very difficult task. It is just you need to understand, okay, the concepts and what and all what and all the external ecosystems are there, okay, and how you can connect with them in order to get it. So to start a business, what we need in the first place is, okay, so definitely, so I'm just showing here. So this is called as a business model canvas. Okay, to start a business or to start any small level or middle level or in an enterprise level of business, definitely what we need is, okay, the value proposition. This is the very first value proposition you need to know. Okay, what I'm going to do, what is my product is going to do, whether I'm going to create a product or just a service. Service means whether I'm going to buy something and sell it, okay, to the customers. So first one is the value proposition. Second one is the partners, okay, who has invested money in you, whether the money, you can yourself invest and you can start the money. So this is just a business model canvas of a Vodafone thing. So you just go through this topic. So key partners. So who are all your investors? Okay, where are you going to sell your suppliers, right? What you are going to manufacture, right? So it can be in any industry. It can be in say for your home science department, okay, or any other departments. So what is the product that you are going to process? Okay, who are all the suppliers? What you are going to process? Whether it can be innovatively done, or it can be or you can process on with some kind of a machines, okay, or you want to just sell. So who are your key partners? What you are going to do, you need to know the key activities, right? So whether you are going to sell it in a shop, or whether you are going to sell it online, or whether you are going to process, okay, so these are the key activities you should know. Next one is the key resources. When I say key resources, who are all going to participate? Okay, so like for example, if you are starting a like an online shopping kind of okay, online shopping, you want to sell some products. Okay, so say for example say some beauty products. Okay, so who are all the key resources? Okay, so the online vendor should be there. Okay, so the billing department should be there. So how you are going to transact? Okay, so those will be the key resources. And when you see on the customer side, okay, who are your customers? Whether it is on the age factor. Okay, whether it's a college student, or it is a housewife, or it is like an aged people. Like, who are all the customer segments that you need to see? Next one is the customer relationship. How you are going to, once you sell the product, you can just leave it, right? You need to definitely have a customer relationship. Okay, so how you are going to maintain the customer relationship? So, and what are all the channels? Okay, through you're going to sell it through online, or shop, or through social media, Okay, so those kind of channels, how you're going to sell. So not only this, so you need customer on the left hand side, okay, and in the middle is your value proposition. When I say value proposition, why are you going to do it? Okay, that you need to be very clear. And here are your suppliers and partners. Okay, so this is just the technique you should know when you're starting a business. You should be very clear on what you're going to do, who are your customers, in what channels you're going to sell, and who are all your key partners, key activities and resources. Okay, apart from this, what you should do, you should be thinking about your cost structures. Okay, when I say cost structure, who are your investor, whether you are going to invest a small amount or whether you are going to invest a heavy amount or any shareholders are there. Okay, so you need to understand your cost structure. Okay, so whether you are going to have some employees with you, or tech platform, whether you're going to put in social media, means you need to have the social, you need to pay for Facebook advertisements, etc. So here are your revenue stream. Okay, how money is coming to the business. So here is the cost, how the money is going out of the business, and here how is the money coming inside the business, right? If you see any big entrepreneur or any companies, definitely they will have this kind of a framework. This framework is called as a business model canvas. Hello, can you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I hope you understand what is this business model canvas, right? Okay. So any questions in this? You want to put it in chat, or we can, if I'm not seeing any questions, I think I can move on to the next slide. Okay. So this is the first part. Okay. So now, see, by seeing this, do you think is it complex or is it an easy one? Okay, as you come out of the college, okay, or is it a very difficult task? Okay, first, if you see, it is not a difficult task at all. If now government, they are actually, trying to nurture the entrepreneurs from the colleges, because they want more business people, entrepreneurs. Because if you see in US and China, okay, there are a lot of people coming out of their colleges, or even after 2-3 years, they are trying to encourage them to come up with the to start a business. Okay, that is why if you see in France and in other European countries, if you see, there are very little companies. If you want to go for a for a furniture shop, okay, you can hardly have like 1 or 2 in Europe segments, but in US also it is the same thing. Okay, but in India, if you see furniture shops, there are n number of furniture shops in India. Okay, right? Because everyone don't want to work. Okay, so very very few people want to start a business, and there are major people who wants to get into the work, because they want to be very safety, they don't want to take risk, and things like that. Okay, but this is just a way of how to define your business. And how government is employing is, okay, you see here. So if you see the National Innovation Startup Policy, this is actually created in 2019 for students and the faculty of Higher Education Institute, to enable the institutes and actively engage the students, right? So even the government is trying to put some funds, create some money in order to get things done. Okay, and they want to nurture you, because that is why they are having the kind of IAC council, where for every student it will be difficult to come up and learn how to start a business, and that is why they have created this kind of a group. If you have any clarifications how to start and things like that, this group can guide you. Okay, so you have seen all these on a different models. Okay, like these are some of the innovation. So when you say business, you definitely, definitely not, you just, need to innovate. Okay. You can also form, like a product or a service or some kind of a platforms. Okay. Where you don't need to have a product at all. Right. You see here a lot of, Ola. You see Ola doesn't pay any money to the driver or any, it does not have even one single car. Okay, so Ola is just a platform, right? So it doesn't have any single car if you take their revenue stream and see, right? So that is a different business. Similarly, if you see Uber, Oyo and all, okay, Oyo again, Oyo hotels, there is not even one single hotel, defined by Oyo, right? So it is just a platform. It brings the suppliers, it brings the customers, it just joins together and get the commission and it go off, right? So similarly, this is called as a platform model. Similarly, if you see Ticket New, so where you're buying tickets and Book My Show, yeah, Ticket New or Book My Show does not hold any kind of a cinema theater or something, right? Okay, so it is just the platform which used to get the customers, get the theater owners, they book the tickets and they get their commission. Okay, so all these are called as a platforms. Okay, so now we have discussed this business model, and there are few failures also in this. Okay, if you see Google Glass is just an innovation product. Okay, so Google Glass failed because it is not on the it is not pitched on the right time to the market. Okay, because it is more costlier, and if you see in a Google Glass, there are a lot of technology involved. Okay, but because of the cost and because see if and it is also a privacy issue. Okay, when it can take every snap from the system and it upload to the Google server. So there are a lot of problems in that, and it is not a even though it is a good technology, it is got failed on its own. Okay, and the BlackBerry failed because the Apple iPhone came into existence. That is why we need to watch the market. Okay, so when we watch the market, we need to also see, so whatever product you think may not be immediately suitable to the market, right? So there are you need to look or when you want your business to be successful, you definitely need to look at the the correct, you need to study the market. Okay, how it is. If you say Nano is a very good car. You can get in 1 lakh rupees, you can get this car. But actually, when they are marketing, they told it as a cheapest car. Okay, that is why no one want to buy a cheapest car, even though if they are holding a two-wheeler thing, they don't want to buy a so-called cheapest car. Okay, so that is why Nano is not a big hit. It just failed because of its marketing. Okay, and this is a BSNL building, you can see. So why BSNL why BSNL market share was become very less? Okay, because it has not got a good service, right? So if you want to get a connection, definitely it takes 3-4 days. Whereas if you see Airtel, okay, you can get it in just 1 hour or 2 hours, you can get it. And when you have some problem in BSNL, if you go and report, okay, definitely it is going to take a very long time, right? 2-3 days or 4 days in order to resolve it. But in Airtel and all, immediately they will come. So you need to look at the service also. Okay, so now when you are creating any product or innovation or any kind of a thing, first you need to check whether the customer is desirable to buy it, right? The Google Glass you saw, okay, it is a very good technology, but actually it failed because there are no customer wanting for it, right? So there is a desirability problem. Okay, so you need to check whether the desirability, that is the user experience, is good for your product. Second one, feasibility. Feasibility means whether you can able to, for example, if you're starting a hotel business, okay, so you are just starting a dosa, right? You are going to deliver 20 different types of dosa. Okay, so user experience. So definitely the business will be successful if you are going to deliver all 15 to 20 types of dosa with excellent quality, with the same taste from morning till evening, right? Or any or in any weekdays or weekends with the same experience, that is definitely the desirability. And if you see the feasibility, what is the feasibility? Feasibility means how you are going to deliver, how do you going to put the dosa, whether you are going to have some kind of a machine which is going to create on its own, or you have some cook, very expert in cook, who is going to. So whether he will stay there for a long time, you need to check the feasibility also, right? Okay, so this is number 2. Third one is the viability. When you say viability, that 15 types of dosa, if you are selling in the weekday, okay, you are getting only say for example 100 customers per day. But if you sell it in the weekends, okay, you are getting say for example 300 customers, okay, in a day. Whether your infrastructure can able to provide it, whether I see anyway the cooking place, it's very constrained place, right? Okay, if in place of 100 customers, if 300 customers are coming per day, whether you can able to provide it, okay, that viability also you need to see. So if you want any product to be successful, definitely you need to look at the desirability part, second one the feasibility part, and third one is the viability. Let us take for one more example, like you're going to sell the the online clothes, okay, very excellent online clothes, right? So user experience, desirability, whether it is desirable to the customers, right? You're going to sell through you're going to buy it from China, you're going to import, okay, and you're going to sell it through online, whether the quality is very good, okay, whether the color and the fittings of it, okay, and you need to check that whether everything is pakka, okay, that is called the desirability. Second one is the feasibility. Feasibility means whether you could be able to whether you're going to get it for importing, right? Okay, shipping, right? So you need to check whether in the port there are some issues are there while you are getting the stocks or products or goods, okay, well, that you need to check whether it is feasible. Third one is whether the cost that you're going to offer, you need to check whether the transportation cost, okay, or the courier charges that you're going to send that materials to the customer, whether it is feasible. And first last one is the viable. Now it is like 100 customers, now tomorrow 500 customers are demanding, whether you can able to sell the dresses, whether you could able to import that kind of that much amount of dresses, okay. And one of my friend was actually selling the belt, okay. So if you see, he is actually getting it from the Chennai, he sent it to Calcutta for manufacturing, and he just get it back to the Chennai, and he is selling it here, okay. So it actually failed because it is not viable, okay. Suddenly after seeing the quality, it got increased, the business got increased, okay. And after you see there were a lot of problems where he could not make up with the quality, because he could not create that much leather, okay. He could not actually buy that much leather, so there was a supplier problem. So if you want to see, you need to check all these three, if the business is available, okay. So we are at 5:30, we still have 30 minutes more. So here is where it is, okay. So you need to, if you see any product or any service, you need to check whether you have a functional innovation, so which is in between desirable and feasibility, okay. And there is a center point which is called the DTA, design thinking and innovation, okay. So this is called a DFE framework. So when you are going to start a business, you need to know your BMC framework, okay, business model canvas, as I told in the previous slide. And this is the DFE framework, okay. So if you see, I will list some of the logos, okay. First one is Apple iPhone, right? So if you see the Apple iPhone, it has an excellent user experience, it has an excellent technology. And did you hear any news that there is no Apple iPhones left in the store? Everywhere it is there, right? So the distribution is very good. So in all three, it is excellently applicable. So that is why this brand is successful. Second one is HDFC Bank. Again, if you see service, technology, entrepreneurship, everything it can able to provide, right? LIC has a very good policy for all the segments of the people, even from top class to bottom class, they have the policies. Airtel, I don't want to tell, okay, you might be using your SIM cards, right? So how good is the, and you have a chota recharge option also. You can even recharge for 10 rupees. Okay, so which is the user experience. Okay, because if you see the low level people, they can't afford for 2000 rupees or 1000 rupees recharge, right? So they can just go for a 10 rupees recharge, or for, so minimum is 10 rupees, so they can able to cater to that user experience. Amul is and Parachute oil. If you see Parachute oil, again quality is there, and it can cater to any kind of people. Parle-G, it is one of the successful. Asian Paints, again, there is this DFE completely applicable there. Paytm, if you see Paytm, have you seen any downtime in Paytm? No, it everywhere, it completely worked. Okay, and it is very successful because there is a thing behind the technology, right? So there are a lot of servers behind this technology, and they have excellently done it so that it is not going down. Okay, so it has the user experience also, very good user experience. You pay it through Google Pay, right? So and this is what is called as a DFE framework. Okay, so next I'm moving to another framework. So if you're going to start a business, okay, what you want to look at first is your company, right? What you are going to do. You'll be definitely you will be definitely speaking with your friends, or have some ideas. Okay, you will be having some pain point of the customer, or in your home itself. Okay, your environment itself. As I told you, dosa, right? So you're interested in dosa and you don't have any dosa shops nearby. Okay, and so some pain point should be there. Okay, so you need to understand what is that you are seeing it as a pain point, and what you can do about it. So that is your company. Second is the customers. So where are the customers? Okay, so do you have any segment, or is it male customers or female customers, or age wise there are any segments, whether you're going to sell it to children? Okay, so that kind of segmentation you want to do. Third one is the real product. Okay, so when you say about the product, what product you are going to serve? Okay, next one is you need to also look at the competitors. If you see competitors, you definitely need to compete with the price, okay, and the quality. See, if nowadays people, if it is of very high quality, they are not bothering about the price. Okay, if you see this this Chekku Ennai, okay, Chekku Ennai நீங்க பார்த்திருப்பீங்க. It is more costlier than the normal Safolo or Sunbrand oil. பார்த்திருப்பீங்க நீங்க. So if you see there, it is costing around 150 rupees, but whereas Chekku Ennai is around 280 rupees. But people are buying it, okay, because it is of high quality. Okay, so you also need to look at your competitors. Next one is the sales and marketing. How you are reaching the customers. Okay, so நான் ஒரு இது வச்சிருக்கேன், அது ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு என்னோட தெருவில் இல்லை ஒரு 2-3 ஸ்ட்ரீட்ஸ்ல மட்டும் if I am going to sell it, definitely it is not going to make me the profit, right? Okay, I need to not sell only to my friends or to my relatives. I need to sell it to the public. Okay, when I am selling it to the public, I need to have the sales and marketing definitely being done. Whether it can be it can be வாய் வார்த்தைகளா கூட இருக்கலாம். Okay, or it can be some network marketing. Okay, it can be a Facebook. Okay, or you can share it in WhatsApp. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you can do in the sales and marketing. Next one is you need to adhere to the government and legal ethics. I cannot sell something which is not legal, correct? என்னோட மனசாட்சியோடையும் என்னோட I need to sell which is good for the company as well as to the public people as well as to the government. Okay, so now coming to the so we have completed the first part of it, which is creating a product. How you want to create a product, what is the framework that I have shown you. If you have any questions, I am pausing here. Okay, we have still more 15 minutes. I am pausing here. If you have any questions, we can take it up, or I can move on to the next part.
So kindly share what is the difference between the startup and entrepreneurship for the students. They have a doubt. They
Okay.
know they are thinking if anything has to be started, any business started, they're thinking it as a startup almost,
Okay.
the students. So kindly differentiate it for the students.
So you want to differentiate between a startup and
Entrepreneurship.
okay. So startup and entrepreneurship. See, you need to definitely start something, right? So you just coming out of the college. See, actually, I came to know saw one example. See, actually, this lady, she was studying in a college in Houston, okay, in Texas. It was very difficult for her to wake up in the morning. I think there was some other video, some other.
Kindly mute them. Kindly mute the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, I have muted. You can continue.
Yeah. Okay. So she was actually having a problem, waking up in the morning. Okay. So then what she has done is, I think I can show that video, but okay. So I'm just telling this, narrating the story to differentiate this difference. Okay. So what happened is, she usually snoozes the alarm, and she used to go to sleep. Okay. It was very difficult for her. Then what she did is she invented some kind of product. Okay. What happened is that particular alarm piece. Okay, when it immediately cleared the alarm, okay, it starts falling down from the bed, and it will just roll over towards the door. Okay, you cannot just stop it, or you can't snooze it. But definitely you want to walk behind that alarm, and you want to stop it. Okay, so by that time, you will automatically wake up, come out of the bed, and you are walking. Automatically, the sleep is gone. Okay, so she just created it for her, and her friends saw that. Okay, saw that, and it was a. Why don't you do it for for our group? So then what she did is she had created that alarm for that particular group. Okay, so it actually falls out of the bed. It just scrolls on the floor, and it roll over until you catch it, until you stop it. It will just keep on rolling. Okay, so then she actually her friends also started using it, and then the other they came out of the market, and they want to know how they want to sell this product outside. Okay, they actually get the they have few money with them. Then they started then they tried this proof of concept with a few people, with his friends, with his college. Okay, then before coming out of the college itself, she was an entrepreneur. So she has started something. She got an idea. She just tried it with her friends, and it started picking it up. And before completing her college, it was a very big hit, and she became an entrepreneur. So if you see a startup, so first when she sold it to his friends, that is a startup. When she sold it to public, it became an entrepreneur. Okay, she want to maintain that entrepreneurship. I think that answered your questions, Kavita.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now moving on to the next. In the interest of time, I'm just moving on to the other. So the other part is the ethics. Okay. So when you create a product, when you see, because nowadays ethics is very important, right? You can do whatever in order to get the money, or you can do whatever in order to sold the money. Is it right? Definitely not. Okay. See, there are several illegal businesses going, around the world, right? So when we are starting our entrepreneur business, okay, knowing or unknowingly, we may or may not know whatever is right or wrong. Okay. So definitely we need to ponder over this topic of ethics. So ethics is about right or wrong behavior with the preference to choose over right or wrong. We may not know, we think that it is right, okay, but legally it may be wrong. Okay, so let me show few examples in order to understand. Okay, so first one is the gift from vendors. Okay, for example, if I'm an entrepreneur, Okay, and if my employee, in order to get some personal benefit, if he is getting gift from the suppliers, who is working under me, I should not allow that. Okay, so gift from vendors is an unethical way of doing it. First, second one is a false product. Okay, when you are introducing a product to the market, you should actually tell what is the specification in the market. You should not actually overwhelm or tell more about which is not there, and it becomes a very big issue and problem. So like there is a brand called Yamaha. When they released it, they told that it was a 100cc engine. Okay, but actually they kept a 125cc engine. Okay, which makes that brand, and it is a very fastest bike in 1990s. Okay, then the competitor actually understood that this 100cc bike cannot run like 125cc, and they de-engineer it, reverse engineer it, and they figure out that it is a false claim, and they sued it, and this Yamaha, it's totally gone down. Okay, and now only you can see a few Yamaha bikes starting from last 10 years. So 20 years the business was down. Okay, because of false product claims. Second one is the hidden terms in the user agreements. Okay, so we may or may not know while signing in an agreement. For example, when we are trying to buy some software, or when we are installing some software in the mobile app, we never used to read the agreement, correct? Okay, so whenever you want to when you want to sell it to the customer, they should make understand what is in the user agreement. Okay, whether they are trying to understand it. Okay, so definitely that will help the customer tomorrow, in order to avoid the problems or any cases tomorrow. So unethical accounting, this is one of the example of Satyam Computers. Okay, where Satyam Computers, in order to sell their shares more, okay, they actually, what they did, they exaggerated their profits. Okay, instead of 100 crore, they told it is a 250 crore company, and what happened in the history, right? So that person got into the jail, and the total Satyam computers was bought by. So this unethical accounting practice should also not be there. Okay, poor working conditions. If you see Sarana Stores is a best excellent example, and there was a film also came out, right? Okay, so if you see that employees, okay, how they are in unsafe conditions during COVID, okay, they are working like a slaves. Okay, and if you see the Sivagasi place also, every children labor was there, and they were working was nearly 12 to 13 hours. Okay, so poor working conditions is also a big problem, right? So when you are starting a business, you also need to think all these points, is what I'm trying to say. Next one is the sexual harassment. Okay, so there are a lot of legal around things here. Okay, which is one of the unethical, and defamation. So creating fake accounts, and you cannot spoil the competitor name. See, in US, you can directly directly comment on a competitor, that telling that this product is not good. You look at my product is good. For example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they can openly say that Pepsi is not good, it has a few product which is not good for health. You can openly tell that. Okay, but in India you cannot openly tell that, right? So there is a difference here. So that is called a defamation. We cannot actually damage the customer image. Okay, so trade secret misappropriation. So this employee, your employee who is working under you, can actually cannot leak the trade secrets. Okay, so that is also the one of the unethical activities that employee can make. Okay, and the next one is the bribery. You have seen Shivaji film, right? So what and all he is doing for building the Shivaji Foundation. Okay, so you have seen he has given a lot of bribery. Then he thinks that it is not the right way of doing it, right? So that is the so these are all the, see, when you are trying to improve your business, automatically the mindset comes, I want to earn more. Okay, so you should not get into all these unethical practices in order to just to generate the revenue. Okay, why managers are making mistakes, or why managers are becoming unethical, why business are becoming unethical. Okay, and selling the customer data is another one more unethical example. So why managers behave ethically? Okay, why business, most of us behave ethically. First, most of us, like, if you take 100 people, 90% of people don't want to behave ethically because in order to avoid punishment, right, or to receive some reward. Okay, most of us, many of us, in that 90%, you take just 5%, they want to be responsive to family, friends, and superiors. Okay, so they can't damage their image in front of the family, friends, or superiors, so they want to be good, right, and many to be a good citizen. And very few of us, okay, where we are brought from your where you get from our parents, or our day-to-day practices from the parents, do what is right, okay, pursue some ideal, okay, மனசாட்சி பிரகாரம் வேலை செய்யறது சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லைங்களா. So like that. So most of us, and many of us, and very few of us, I've given the category here. So while you are practicing the business, you want to be a good citizen, and and also you want to make sure that you are right, you are selling the right goods, okay, and you are actually create a good working condition for the people. And ethical accounting, you cannot evade tax. Okay, so in order to evade tax, there are a lot of things that you can do in order to evade tax. Okay, see, actually paying tax is like GST or CGST, you are going to pay around 18% tax to the government. Okay, in order to avoid that, many people are handling the cash. So but in order to be ethically performing the transactions or something, in order to get a return back of the GST, definitely you need to work on the you need to pay the taxes properly. Okay, so these are the learning objectives of this ethics. So I think we still have 5 minutes, so I will just take 5 more minutes. So do you consider yourself, so when you are starting your company, okay, 1 minute. So when you start, when you just have to ask these questions by yourself. Do you consider yourself to be ethical in the first place? Okay, next you come to business, but first yourself, you think first whether you are ethical. Okay, how do you know you are ethical, and how do you know that you are doing the right things? Okay, is ethics situational or absolute? So situational means in some situation we may take a right or wrong decisions, right, because the situation pressure will be there. Okay, so during that time we may need to forego ethics sometimes. Okay, so in your college or in your in your examination also, if you see, because of some situational pressures or sometime you may need to for but that is not right. Okay, so first you need to ask yourself whether yourself is a very important, asking yourself whether you are an ethical person is what you need to understand. Second one, when you start your business, okay, before this, let me ask few questions. Okay, okay, for Jallikattu, what we have started, right? Do you think it is an ethical practice? Ethically we did it? Is it legal or it is ethical? Okay, I will tell the answer by myself. See, actually it is illegal, okay, but it is ethical. We have done something for a right cause, right? But actually, if you see, from a government perspective, you should not gather like this, okay, and you should not. And second point is, you see the testing medicines on animals. Okay, they are actually testing their medicines, on the animals is illegal in many countries, right? If you want to distinguish between the legal and ethical, it is legal, okay, but if you see is that is ethical in India, actually it is not ethical in India. Okay, So like that, you need to think about yourself. When you are in a situation, you need to think whether it is a legal practice that I'm going to make or an ethically, I need to look for it. Okay, so when you start your business, not only when you start your business, even though when you're running your businesses, you need to actually define some rules, set of rules, okay, that you need to follow, your employer need to follow, your supplier need to follow, okay, and what are all the rules of the government, okay, and you need to abide by the law, okay, and be knowledgeable whether it is right or wrong in that area. So for example, I'm starting a retail pawn shop, okay. So pawn shop means pawn is actually, they are it is not advocated by the government, but still we are selling it, okay. So you need to think all about these things, okay, whether it is abiding by the law, whether it is right or wrong, okay. So we actually, you should be learning the business ethics, because the consequences we are going to face is not only affecting the personal owner of the company, it will actually affect the moral of the other employees also. Okay, just for making money we cannot do anything and everything, right? So we need to actually take care of the our employees, our company, okay, so everything. So it basically, it has to make, we need to make a legal profit for the firm. Okay, I know that you are not in that stage, you are not even starting you are not even in the started the business. But why I am telling this now is, see, when you're thinking about the business, you should always think the business idea should always be ethical, okay. It should be, when you're it should actually solve a problem of the economy, or it should actually solve the problem of your pain points that you have, okay. So when you're thinking about any idea, you should always think an ethical kind of a way, which is very, very important, okay. Because when you see that the MD of Satyam Computers, okay, so he was a multi-millionaire, okay, but at the end of the day, all is, and Indra, the ICICI Bank, Indra Nui, okay, she also faced a lot of trouble, just for getting the bribe in ICICI. She was an excellent CEO, okay, for past 20 years, but just the name has gotten down everything, right? So that we need to see. So you are studying the, so what is, so if you see, there are two different things, the moral standards. You should actually distinguish between what is right or wrong and what is morally good or bad, okay. So we should have that kind of if anyone tells you that this is good, you should be having an idea whether it is good or bad, for you should be asking your legal people, or some kind of your neighbors, whether it is legal to do it, okay. Everything you need to figure it out, okay. So legal is not just getting the bribe, it may also may cause an injury, or fail to prevent. If you are failing to prevent an action also, it sometimes it becomes an unethical activity, okay. Not only doing is an ethical activity, if you are failing to do something is also an illegal activity, okay. So person did so knowing, okay, without knowledge, or with knowledge, right? So those are also ethical practices. And now coming to law. So I will take just a few minutes, okay. So what is the difference between ethics and law? If you see the difference between ethics and law, see, ethics is something comes within a personal feeling and as a human being feeling, right? So you should not harm human beings, you should not harm the feelings of the human beings, that all comes under ethics, okay. But law is something created for the government, for the people, okay, in order to make sure that they live in harmony, right? So that is a law. So when you start a business, you also need to know what are all the legal list of clauses that you have when you are doing a business. So for example, when you are selling firecrackers, there are certain rules that you need to follow, right? So you need to abide by the law, okay. So there is a relationship between the law and ethics, right? So you also need to look at so see here, You also need to look at the government ecosystem, what you can do. Okay, do for the government. In several companies, they are actually looking for a CSR activities, corporate social responsibility activities. Okay, even though if they are gaining money, from the profit, what they do is they actually, do some percentage, like 5%. The companies has to do something for the people. Okay, because they are actually using that space for business, right? So obviously they need to do for the nearby locality. So you also look at the no poverty, zero hunger, okay, good health. You can also get some business out of it. Okay, so good health, okay, and quality education, gender equality, and you see, there is no differentiation between the male workers and female workers. Make sure it has clean water and sanitization, affordability, clean energy. Okay, so what happens to your product, after it comes out of the customer hands, whether it is properly, it is properly sanitized, or it is properly taken to the recycling part. Okay, so it again, if you sell n number of plastic sheets, it is also not ethical, right? Now it has become legal problem. Okay, but you can think it is an ethical, right? So do you think it is an ethical? Definitely not. So whether you're wrapping up with the plastic paper, so all this, you are actually spoiling the ecosystem. Okay, so think all these aspects when you are doing something, right? See, for example, there may be some activities which is legal, okay, but may be unethical. I will tell you one example. So in several software companies, if you see, the administrator can monitor the email. Okay, what email this guy is, there are 2000 employees. They have access to see all these 2000 email employees because I think I need to make some mute. Yeah. So if you see, there are a lot of emails they can read, but actually, do you think it is ethical? It is legally right in that company, but it is not ethically. So you need to have that kind of a wisdom or knowledge in order to differentiate, okay, what is legal, what is ethical, okay, what should I do, what should I not do, okay, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. Okay, I will tell you a very good example. Okay, there is a person who is actually stealing the food to feed his family. Okay, so in this, do you think whether it is legally right or ethically right? This is just an example. Now I'm just asking you how you could able to think whether you can able to morally, or whether you could able to distinguish between good or bad. So what he's trying to do, he used to steal food from the place and he want to feed his family. Okay, whether he's doing right or wrong. Okay, stealing is not legal and stealing is not ethical, but if you see on the other side, he is feeding his family, right? So it is very difficult to conclude that this is ethical or it is legal. See, because if that person really have the passion to work, okay, or he has that ability to work, or he can able to work somewhere, get some money, then if he is doing that, then it is a illegal thing. Okay, or so that is what we should be able to have our mindset in order to figure out which is good, which is bad, and we need to take our decisions appropriately. Okay, there may be some places where you may need to bribe, okay, in order to get some things done in India. Okay, we can't avoid that. All right, so it should be a conscious decision that we need to take, and in order to avoid these things. Okay, so I think this is all I want to cover. Okay, so it is all about the personal ethical concepts, and as well as when you look at as a business, you are only not going to affect. Okay, your company is also going to get affected, your employees are going to get affected, and if the complete business shutdowns, all your employees, they will be unemployed, right? So make sure that we are making the legal profits, and we are making good to the society. We are bringing something good to the society. Okay, so I think I covered most of the slides. Okay, so I will just reiterate what you have seen. So there are top 10 entrepreneurs in India. Okay, you are not just alone. You can succeed. And I have covered this business model canvas, how you can start a product. And I have told you the DFE framework, the user experience, the desirability, feasibility, and viability. And I have touched upon the ethics, right? Okay, so which is right or wrong? You should have that conscious ability to distinguish between the right or wrong. Okay, so these are the topics that I have covered today. If you have any questions, we can discuss now.
Girls, kindly share your questions. Post your questions in the chat box. I think the students are clear enough, sir.
Okay, good. No problem. Yeah, sure.
Parin, you can continue, ma. Parin?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so
Students
much,
can
sir.
kindly switch on your video for a photo shot. Dear students, all of you can switch on your video for a photo shot.
Okay, you can turn off your cameras. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today. I am sure everybody must have got some valuable points and know to differentiate between what is ethical, what is legal, and what is moral. Hopefully, someday we will see entrepreneurs coming out of SKPC. That's my sincere wish from everybody who's viewing this webinar. On that note, we would like to conclude the session. I would request Ms. Kavita Kumari to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening to one and all. Vote of thanks. Honorable Chief Guest Mr. Kamakshinadan Sir, respected staff members and my dear friends. It's my privilege to stand before you to proposing vote of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, I thank Goddess Vasamba for giving us this precious day. I take opportunity to thank the management for extending their support conducting of this program. On behalf of the IIC Internship Vertical, I would like to express our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Kamakshinadan Sir for facilitating this event. We are indeed grateful for the gift of your time and honor of your presence, sir. Thank you, sir. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the students who have gathered here and actively participated. I would also like to thank all the teachers and all the students volunteers who help us out in smooth conducting of the program. Once again, I thank everyone for showing their willingness to take part in various responsibilities for making this event a great success. Thank you for expecting our invitation, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Kavita Kumari.
Thank you, madam. Thank you all.
On a
Thank you
special
so
note,
much,
I
sir.
would like to thank Dr. V. Meena for arranging the resource person. Thank you, Meena.
Girls, I have
Thank you
posted
for
a feedback
organizing this event. Dear girls, start up your work as the semester is going to end, you all can end up this semester with college life and then start up business. Thank you all.
Girls, the feedback link has been posted in the chat. Please fill the feedback form and then leave the meeting.
Can we stop the recording?
Farin, you have a right to stop your live. Kindly stop the live, da.
Yes, ma'am, 1 minute.
Yeah.